This quick video is all about replacing a lock out of one of Journeyman Outfitters' pieces of furniture. The only tool you're going to need is a Phillips head, either physical screwdriver or a drill driver of some sort. The lock itself is held on by these 4 screws. This silver screw is the door for the battery. If ever you have to replace it, that screw is removed to expose the battery. And then lastly, there is a black screw off to one side, which holds the battery bypass wire. Either there is a washer on it or it's just screwed right into the cabinet. Start just simply by removing that screw so that that battery bypass cable is loose. Set that aside. You'll need to use it again. And then go ahead and remove your 4 hold down screws. Once those are removed, the lock will simply come off. Left behind are the 5 holes associated with the lock's location. This is important, as well as the lock's orientation, because if you don't put it back this way, obviously the piece of furniture is not going to operate properly. If there is an issue, please contact me directly. I'm happy to help with slight adjustments. So go ahead and put your no longer working lock to the side or replacement lock, and then grab up your new one. Start by removing the battery door, like that. You'll then grab 4 AAA batteries. Go ahead and insert those. You'll hear the lock beep. That indicates that it does have power. You'll then simply grab any of the keys that come along with the lock, and you're going to wave it over the underside of the lock itself. You're going to hear the lock engage. If you look in the pinhole, you should see that pin retracting and then sliding back out. If for some reason that is not happening, there is an instruction booklet with troubleshooting in the box that kind of gives you some useful tips, notes, tricks, and the manufacturer information if you need to contact them for any reason. Once you get that done, go ahead and replace your door. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Then what you're going to do is start by using 1 screw. Go ahead and place it through the lock to where it's poking out. And then what you're going to do is just carefully line it up to one of the holes, like so. And then go ahead and run that screw in. What that's going to do is orient the lock back in line with the holes that it came with. And then to get the next one, you'll simply set the screw in the hole. And then you see when I shift the lock around, the lock isn't sliding because the tip of that screw is in the next hole. Go ahead and tighten that one down. And then go ahead and add your last 2. These should go in super easy. If they don't, that means you may not be lined up with the original hole. Again, it's better to be sure that you didn't misalign it rather than having to remove it and replace it. So this is an example of me putting it on incorrectly. It needs to orient that way. Same thing, we start with a screw sticking through. Go ahead and set our next screw until we feel it drop in that hole. Now, the most important thing about replacing one of these locks is that before you close the piece of furniture, after you've reinstalled it, make sure that the lock still is working. If it's not working and you close the cabinet or the bench or the shelf, this is going to lock you out. We don't want that to happen. So just ensure a few times that the lock's fully operable. Out of hundreds of these locks, I've only had 2 or 3 malfunction. Most of the time, those malfunctions are due to some internal issue, and they never make it out to you as a customer. I'm going to catch that long before, because I test these locks about 30 to 50 times here in the shop before shipping out to you. So they are well tested. You should get about a year use out of it, opening it once or twice daily. This is just from my own experience with them. That doesn't say that that's going to be the exact situation for everybody, but that's what is expected. The batteries that come along with it are an Energizer AAA. You can move up to lithium, which have a little bit longer shelf life if you need to. If you're opening 3-4 times a day, that'll give you a little bit longer time. Now, just a few tips that are outlined here in the instruction manual are the notifications for low battery and then running out of charge. So these locks will beep as the battery starts to run low, kind of like a smoke detector. When you go to unlock it, you hear one beep to indicate unlocking. As the battery runs low, you'll actually start to hear multiple beeps under the unlock setting. This is just to indicate, hey, the battery is starting to run low and needs to be replaced. At some point, it'll start beeping on its own to notify you, hey, these batteries are almost dead. And then eventually, the way the lock is designed is when the batteries are getting to the point where they will no longer unlock, it should default to the unlock position. So one day if you walk up to it and it's unlocked and you're scratching your head thinking, what in the world? That can mean that those batteries have run out of charge. Just simply swap them again before closing, test that lock to make sure that it's operable, and then go ahead and close it. Now, if for some reason the lock is not engaging after you swap it, please contact me so I can walk you through some troubleshooting steps on realigning the pin, because that's what's going on. Somehow the lock is not lined up with the pin and those two aren't meshing, but I'm always available and happy to help. Feel free to visit at www.journeymanoutfitter.com. Link is down in the description. Thanks and have a wonderful day.